Mr. Tom Ziegler.
Jesus Christ, Tom. What did you do? It's a beautiful summer Sunday afternoon at the Bronx Zoo. I'm there with my wife and my 3 kids. They're riding a camel. They're having a ball, and they're screaming what excited kids scream. Look at me, Daddy. When my wife pokes me in the ribs and says, is it really that horrible being with your family? What are you talking about? She then proceeds to tell me how I look like I would rather be anywhere other than there with them. What she doesn't know is I'm not there with them. I'm 12 hours earlier, kneeling in the hallway of a public hallway of a burning tenement. It's about 2 in the morning. We're about 8 hours into the night tour. We're rolling in on a box, and I'm sitting there thinking, I got 7 years on the job already. Where'd the time go? 7 years. And I'm in the middle of my 7th summer offensive. That's what we call the summers, because the workload increased so dramatically. It was like you were at war. During the 1970s, if you weren't from around here, this place was crazy. There were more fires, more emergencies than you could possibly imagine. Not too long ago, I saw a kid I was doing some photography, hi, Flash Rosenberg, and I was at the tattoo convention. I saw this kid down on the first floor. He had a 60 Engine t-shirt on. 60 Engine is the firehouse I was appointed into in 1973. So I had to run downstairs and see him. Hey, 60, how you doing? Yeah, retired fireman and all that. I asked him, how you doing for work? What kind of work you getting these days? He looks at me and he says, I've had 3 structural fires in the last 2 years. Whoa. 1978, I had 6 structural fires in one night tour. That's how crazy the 70s were. Why were so many things burning? I personally think UFOs came around and sprinkled crazy dust on us. But the real answer is the basic stuff: greed, jealousy, revenge. Landlords with problem buildings, they thought nothing of putting a match to them, burning them to the ground and collecting the insurance. People having street fights, somebody kick your ass in a street fight, what do? 3 o'clock in the morning, you toss a Molotov cocktail through their window. You catch your live-in boyfriend cheating on you, pile his clothes on the bed, put a match to them. There are a million fires and a million reasons, and I don't think we'll ever really know why. So we're rolling into the box. Look out the window, and we got fire blowing out one window on the 3rd floor. It's lighting up the whole courtyard. It's like somebody has a torch. You can see everything. As I'm getting off the rig, I look across the street, and the building across the street, every window is reflecting this fire. It looked like fans at a baseball game up in the stadium cheering on their team. When you get off the rig and you're going into a fire, you have to do what's called a size up. You look at the building to see what you're dealing with. You got to know what you're dealing with. So we have a 5-brick, 40 by 80, occupied multiple dwelling. We got fire out one window. But the fire's blowing out the window and lapping straight up the building. This is the summer. The windows above are open. It's going right in the windows. This is going to be a second alarm easy. The first 2 companies there are Engine 9-4 and Ladder 4-8. That's my firehouse. They're first due. If you ever seen a fire, you see all these fire trucks and all these firemen running around. It looks crazy, but there's a plan. You operate in the order that you get there. First due, they're going to the fire. They're going to the fire apartment. Second due companies, they're going to the floor above the fire. Everybody's got a position, and you got to find that position. You got to do it. Okay, so the engine gets there first. There's fire engines and fire trucks. They're not interchangeable. Fire engine is the apparatus with the hose on the back. They'll pull up in front of the building, take off the needed amount of hose. The fire engine will drive to the hydrant, hook up. They climb up the stairs carrying their hose. Their job is to extinguish the fire. That's it. They're there to put out the fire. The truck company, who is very much better than the engine company, the truck company's job is to facilitate the engine putting out that fire. We're there to perform ventilation, entry, and search. Whereas everybody in the engine goes to the fire, when the guys climb off the truck, they're going in all different directions. The chauffeur will position the apparatus in front of the building to operate the aerial ladder. Put it to the window. If he's got to rescue somebody, put it to the roof, whatever he's got to do. One person will go to the roof. Well, probably the most important position. You have to get the roof open. He'll pop open the roof door, take out the skylights, because fire, heat, smoke rises. And anybody in that building above the fire is going to die if those doors and skylights aren't open. Another guy will go to the fire escape. He'll climb up the fire escape, try to get into the apartment off the fire escape. And if he can't get in, once the engine starts moving in, he'll use his tools to take out the glass, provide ventilation. Those three guys are the outside team. Then there's the inside team, the officer and the two members of the forcible entry team. Tonight I'm part of the forcible entry team. We run up the stairs, we pass the engine because they're carrying their burden and we just got tools and we're much better than they are anyway. And we get up there first and there's the door, smoke seeping out of the bottom, 3 locks. Take my Halligan tool. A Halligan tool is like a crowbar on steroids. That's the best way I could explain it. Put my Halligan tool into the door, between the door jamb and the door, and my partner takes his axe, his 8-pound axe, and he starts slamming it into it. Bow, bow, bow. We're driving it. It's brute force and it's finesse. You drive it in a little bit, you angle it out, you drive it between the door and the jamb, separating it, pow, pop the first lock. But when we pop the first lock, the door is pushed in on the top, and all that smoke's coming out in the hallway. That's why you start at the top locks, because that smoke's coming out and it's immediately banking down. Drop the tool 6 inches, hit it, bam, 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 pow. We pop the second lock. Drop it again, bam, bam, pow. We got the third lock. By this time, the engine's in position. They have their hose flaked out. They bled the air out of it. They're ready to go. Engine, you ready to move in? Yeah. Open the door, open the door. We pop the door, the fire comes out. The engine cracks their nozzle, putting 180 gallons of water a minute on this fire. They're pushing it back. They're pushing it down the hallway. We start crawling in behind them. We got to search and vent. As they're moving down the hallway, we start searching the rooms. You search a room by going into it, putting one hand on the wall, and just following the wall around. Your other hand is searching out like this for people laying down. As you're crawling along, you never stand in a fire. Ceiling is 1,000, 1,200 degrees. You stand up in a fire, you're going to the burn center. Everything's done on your hands and knees or your belly. Crawl along the wall, vent the window, search, search, search. I'm crawling down the hallway and I feel a door in a doorway. That's a bedroom. Living rooms, kitchens, they don't have doors. I got a bedroom. Open the door, I go in, and I'm praying that there's nobody in this bedroom. Not only because I don't want to see anybody get hurt, but I don't want to find another victim. Because as soon as you touch a person, you own them, and they live in your brain for the rest of your life. So I'm crawling in, I'm searching around, I'm venting the window, bump into a bed. Surprising how many people get rescued by bumping into them. I bump into the bed. I reach up, slide my hand across the bed. Fuck. There's a body there. All these things you see in the movies, the fireman lifts him up, throws him over the shoulder, and gallantly runs out. Bullshit. I reach up, I grab it, I feel it. I grab a handful of this person's clothes, and I just slide them off the bed onto the floor. Let gravity help me. Bam! Straight onto the floor. Lift the corner of my mask, and I scream, I got someone! You want to let somebody know that you got a victim. They're going to call somebody, and there's going to be help coming to meet you. I'm figuring this is a big kid or a small teenager, because weighs like nothing. I'm crawling out, and I'm dragging this person along with me. You drag them head first, because you don't want to take them down the stairs feet first. The head goes boom, boom, boom. I drag this person out into the hallway, rip off my mask, and I look down, and it's the smallest, skinniest, oldest woman I've ever seen in my life. But I got her out. She's in the hallway, she's out of the fire, she's got a chance. We beat the clock this time. She's gonna make it. I take her, I lift her, I carry her downstairs. I put her on the dirty black and white tile floor. I kneel down beside her. My partner Eddie comes along. He positions her head to start giving her the 3 breaths that begin CPR. Takes the web of his hand and he squeegees that snot and the soot off of her mouth. Because after you've been breathing in a fire, your whole face is painted black with snot and soot. He squeegees it off, slaps it away, gives her the 3 breaths that begin CPR. Now it's my turn. I gotta depress her chest about 2 inches for these compressions to be, for the compressions to work. I'm fireproof tonight. Sometimes I go into these buildings and the only thing that gets me in there, I'm so scared, the only thing that gets me in there is the guys I'm working with going in there. And I ain't letting them down. Sometimes I go in there and I'm fireproof. I can eat that fire. Tonight, I found this woman, I got her out. I am fucking fireproof. I am strong. I got adrenaline flowing through me. I position my hands on her chest. I rock back. I straighten my elbows, and I rock forward. The sounds of her ribs busting echoes off the walls. And as her chest collapses, I swear to God, I feel her breastbone touch her spine. If she wasn't dead yet, she is now. I hear Eddie say, "Jesus Christ, Tom, what did you do?" And those words are echoing in my head at the zoo the next day when I hear my kids say, "Look at me, Daddy."
Tom Ziegler.